guess what I'd like is some, if anybody would throw out kind of a starting point of, of how they would prepare for a discretionary trade, and then I can explain how that would be used with the dynamic planner. Frank says, yeah, all right, great, Frank. So kind of explain to me, like, what would be, let's say, I don't know, you're going to take a trade somewhere on my chart here. Where would you kind of set up your profit and your stop loss and so forth? Okay, great. So Bob's got a suggestion here. All right. So yeah, there's definitely some visually discretionary stop and target points here. All right, so good. This will be a little challenging here. Okay, so the entry would be a 50% pullback of the current swing. So a pullback, right, you're typically going to be using a limit order when you're waiting for the market to pull back. So let's set that up for a limit order. And maybe we want to pad this limit order with, a little safeguard here. So, how about if we just set our limit order, 10 ticks off of the current bar's closing price. Something like that. Or let's see, maybe we want to use the bar's low. We could do something a little safer. Use the low of the bar and then 10 ticks off the low of the bar. All right, so if we're planning on taking a long trade, that would place our limit order, 10 ticks down here. So these are with the dynamic planner, since you're planning a discretionary trade, there's really no exact settings here, just something that you're comfortable with. You might, tweak things around a little bit after a while, but, we'll just use the low with the 10 tick offset, for now as a starting point. Maybe you might want to adjust it to a 5 tick offset later on, after you've kind of used this for a little bit here. So, all right, so we have an entry order set for us. So next, let's grab set up a profit target. And let's see, actually, Bob is suggesting using this, the swing points here, the swing pivots. So we can actually do that here. We can use, we can set our profit target to a swing point. So initial placement is the swing patterns, which are swing points. And let's take a look at what they're, where they're going to be set here. So first thing to pay attention to is, the number of swings is set to 3, and the swing strength is set to 3. And then for a long trade, we're going to be using the widest tops. So the widest tops plot. All right, and so looking at all this, let's go back to the chart. So I'm just going to click OK, and that'll kind of save everything I've done in memory. And so now let's go put the swings indicator on the chart, so we'll have a visual reference as to where the profit and stop loss would go. So let's go down to the S's, right? And so BlackBird and Bloodhound use the swings highs low indicator to detect swing points. So let's put that on here, and you'll notice it has a number of swings and it has a swing sensitivity, and they're both set to 3 and 3. And as we saw in the settings, it's going to be using the widest bottoms and the widest tops to set the stop loss and profit target. And so you can see I have those plots turned on, and I have the tightest plots here, the two tightest plots. I have those set to transparent, so those are invisible there. All right, so let's put this on the chart. And there we go. So now we have a visual reference on the chart where the stop loss would go, and also where the profit target would go if we took a long trade for a long trade. Right. Now, of course, you would reverse these if you were taking a short trade here. So this would be your profit target, and this would be your stop loss. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So we have a visual reference on the chart now. So let's go back in here, and let's finish setting up our stop loss. So we can go to our stop loss, and we also have a swing high-low as well for the stop loss. So let's open this up. We'll go into initial placement. You can see it's set to the swing patterns. Open that up, and again, the number of swings set to 2, swing strength set to 3, just the same way as our indicator is on the chart. And for long trades, we're going to be using the bottom plots for the stop loss, right? So we're looking at the stop loss. So that'd be the bottom. Let's see. Oh, this is actually using the tightest swing bottom. So let's see. It's using the tightest swing. Well, we could switch this to the widest plot, right? So that's what we're seeing on my chart. Remember, I had the widest bottom plots turned on my chart. So we'll change this from tightest to the widest plots here, just like this, just like so. All right, let's click OK, and I want to go back into the indicators, and I guess we might as well turn on these two tightest plots here. We'll turn those on so we can see where they would go, you know, on our chart here. Let's see. So this is a bottom. All right, there we go. So we can see the dots are the tightest plots there. And yeah, up here, you have the dots are, the tightest plots are matching the widest plots. So we can see the dots and the hashes are lining up there. So, all right. So, you know, judging at where, you know, how the chart looks now, let's say we want to plan for a short trade here. So let's pull up our dynamic planner, hit the plan short button, and we can see it's setting our profit target at the closest swing low point there. Our stop loss is sitting up here at the swing high, and the only thing left to do is place our entry order here. You know, place it approximately where we think that 50% pullback would be, right? So it just right. So the only thing to adjust here is just that entry order. So let's, you know, pull it down a tick or so, like that. And once we have everything in place, then we just hit the execute button. And there we go. We can see our limit order is sitting there waiting to get picked up, waiting for the market to do a little pullback and pick it up. So how about if I just force the market up so that limit order gets picked up. And if we want to, you know, so I did adjust the entry. So let's open up our order monitor here. we'll pin that temporarily. And we'll just wait for the market, market to pick up that entry order. There we go, picked it up. Great. And so now we can look at our order monitor, and of course our entry has been filled, and our profit target is working, and our stop loss has been accepted by the market. So, all right, and there you go. So the profit target is put right down there at the swing low. Stop loss is at the swing high, like so. And let's see, we could see here that a new swing point has been detected. All right, and let me pull the market down a little bit. New swing point's been detected, like so. So if we want, we can pull our profit target down a couple of ticks to match that. There we go. All right. So on a side note here, you'll notice that when I moved our profit target here, right? When I moved our profit target, it turned off the auto trailing. So if you do have trailing rules set up, just keep in mind, if you move an order, it will turn off all trailing rules for that order. And so you could just click the auto trailing button again and turn it back on. Right? So when it's gray, it's off. Click it again and it turns it back on. So, but realistic, in this example, there actually are no trailing rules. So, right, we just set up a fixed profit and stop loss at the swing points with no trailing action. So, all right. So there we go. Let's see here. Let's say let's do one more run here. Let's kind of set up for a long trade. Sorry there, Vlad. I'm gonna turn your microphone off there, buddy. All right. So let's see. Let's plan for a long trade here. And let's say we're going to look at this bigger swing here. And so we'll kind of jump into, let's say you might want to entertain jumping into a long trade at this kind of 50% area here between this longer swing line, like so. So if that's the case, then let's grab our dynamic planner again. And let me get this arrow out of the way. All right, so let's hit the plan long button. So we'll use the plan long there. And all right, so let's see. So our stop loss, is set way up here because that's the most recent swing, but we can pull our stop loss down here to this older swing point, right? This older low swing back here. Our profit target is up here at the top. So the top of this swing is still the current swing high for the widest plots, the widest swing high. So our profit target looks like it's in a good spot there. And then we just need to set our entry order, somewhere approximately where we think that 50% is. So, I guess we'll place it right there, something like that. And so once we have our stop loss, our profit target, and our entry order, we're all everywhere where you like, then as soon as we're ready, we'll just hit the execute button. And there we go. So now we can see our entry order here. Let me grab an arrow. There we go. So we can see our entry order is sitting there live. It's working and waiting to get filled. So that's it. All right, so I'll have to pull the market down here. So there you go. So when so kind of the key, let me just kind of summarize here. Kind of the key for using that dynamic planner is kind of setting up a good guesstimate for your orders. It's just just to be helpful, So like when I was explaining setting up the limit order, trying to you want to try and determine a good guesstimate of where your initial placement should be for your entry order. It doesn't have to be precise. The whole point of using the dynamic planner is that nothing is precise, but you use the dynamic planner to precisely place your entry, profit, and stop loss orders. So when you're setting up when you're actually creating your order settings, you just want to kind of put your best guesstimate in here for the initial placements of these things here.